Hi, friends. This is Extraordinary Connection, a daily devotional website put on by the people of the United Methodist Church. I'm Pastor Scott, and I'm glad you're here. And happy tax season to you. We are in that magical time that all Americans get to go through together, tax season, where we gather our receipts, we talk to our financial advisors, and we figure out what do we owe for taxes to the government. Establishing taxes was one of the very first things we did when we became a country, because countries tax their citizens. But the agency that handles taxes in the United States, the IRS, wasn't formed until 1862 because Abraham Lincoln needed a better way to collect taxes to pay for the Civil War. The IRS handles the tax code, all the laws and deductions and exceptions and rules and everything else that goes with filing taxes. The tax code in the United States, those rules that we have to follow for filing our taxes, is 74,608 pages long. That's all the rules that cover what you deduct, what you can't deduct, and what someone owes for this or that. So it's fair to say our tax code is incredibly complex, maybe the most complex in the whole world. And most of that tax growth has happened since 1984. Over the last 30-some years, we have added an additional 40,000 pages to our tax code. Why? Because people are always looking for ways to save on taxes. And in doing so, they're willing to push the boundaries of what's right and look for loopholes to add another deduction so they can avoid paying any taxes. Which is why our tax code has rules like it's okay for a clown to deduct the cost of their clothing, including the big red nose, but not a lawyer and their business suits that they wear to court. Or, if you rent a house for less than 15 days a year, any income you make on that rental is tax-free. And which is why the IRS's second primary function is to audit tax returns for individuals and companies to make sure they follow the tax laws. The IRS averages about 300,000 audits every year to find the 250 billion with a B dollars they estimate go unpaid each year due to people not paying their fair share of taxes. And just to put that number in perspective, $250 billion that goes unpaid in taxes each year is more than the yearly budget of the Education Department, NASA, and the Veterans Administration combined. So why are so many dollars going unpaid? People and companies aren't honest with their taxes. They cheat. I did a couple quick searches, and 1 out of 5 people surveyed didn't have any moral problems with cheating on their taxes. And it was estimated that 1.6 million people actually do cheat on their taxes each year. I don't know how you feel about being honest with your taxes. I don't know if you've ever knowingly cheated on your taxes. But let me read the words of Jesus found in Luke 16:10. Jesus said, "Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much, and whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much." Cheating on taxes, cutting in line at the DMV, being extra flirty with someone who isn't your partner, taking office supplies home from work, lying about where you were when someone asks, calling in sick to work when you aren't really sick. All these and more are minor slips of characters, little indiscretions. But the little things add up, don't they? The cheating on taxes here, the lying there, it adds up. And our dishonesty with a little becomes dishonest with much. Most people who embezzle from a company, most people who steal from a company, don't start out saying to themselves, you know what, I'm going to steal from my company. It always starts small, taking $5 here or $100 there. And with each indiscretion, with each little take from the corporate cookie jar, it gets easier and easier to justify and easier to ignore. That voice inside that says, what you're doing is wrong. The large crimes, the large dishonest actions and choices that we do always start with 1,000 little choices we made beforehand. As Christians, we are called to have integrity, to be honest, and do the right thing even when no one is getting hurt, even when no one is watching, while our Father in heaven is watching. We as Christians are called to do the right thing simply because it's the right thing to do. So in this season of Lent, reflect on what ways you are cutting corners when you shouldn't be. What little white lies are you telling that aren't really hurting anyone? And what deductions are you declaring on your taxes that maybe aren't quite true? Let's meet again on extraordinaryconnection.org.